Good evening, Tewksbury. It is Thursday, May 16th, 6 p.m. I'm calling the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes from March 21st, 2024. So last we had tabled it, and it was confirmed that since Luke was present, he is able to approve the minutes. So do we have a motion to approve the minutes for March 21st, 2024?
So moved. Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I'm going to abstain.
Okay, so that would be 4 approved, including myself, and 1 abstained. And then for April 25th, 2024, motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
You won't have time to go over?
Yes,
Okay.
I approve them. I motion to
In a
approve.
second?
Second.
Okay.
If you can-
I hear a motion from Susan, seconded by George. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair approves as well, unanimous. Okay. So, new business.
So we had on the agenda Christina Sanchez of 11 Emily Road, failure to renew her animal permit. As you can see in your packet and in the emails, our admin had reached out several times to her to renew. However, she didn't renew on time, so her fee was doubled. Her husband did come down to the health department yesterday and pay the fee. Christina's a traveling nurse and is out of town, and she travels a lot for work. So we have added her work phone as well as her work email to the application, so next year, hopefully, we can avoid this. So we decided that she didn't need to come before the board tonight because she was able to pay the fee, even though it was doubled. So hopefully, we can avoid this next year.
Thank you very much.
So I do see that she still has she does not have a valid animal permit, correct? And that's in
We
works?
emailed that to her today.
Okay. Awesome.
So she's all set?
Yep.
Great.
Great. All right, so next on the agenda would be the mental health presentation. I believe Ashley is not here, but Siobhan is here. Would you like to come up? We can set you up here. Let's see if this.
It's there.
And so May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're going to be doing a couple of presentations.
Okay. Nice to see you guys all again. Thanks for having me back. So in recognition of Mental Health Awareness Month, it's imperative that we come together to shed light on a topic often shrouded in stigma and misconception. Today we'll explore the landscape of mental health. Alrighty, so what is mental health? Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. Mental health and overall health. So mental and physical health are equally important components of overall health. For example, according to the CDC, depression increases the risk for many types of physical health problems, particularly long-lasting conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Similarly, the presence of chronic conditions can increase the risk of mental illness. All right, let's look at some of the stats. What's the prevalence of mental illness? The graph on this slide is from 2021 National Survey on Drug Use and Health by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. As you can see on the graph, in 2021, there were an estimated 57.8 million adults aged 18 or older in the United States with a mental health illness. This is represented by the 22.8% all the way over there on the left side for overall. Young adults aged 18 to 25 years had the highest prevalence of a mental health illness. That's the 33.7%, that tall bar right there. The prevalence of any mental health illness was the highest among the adults reported 2 or more races, 34.9% all the way on the right. Mental illnesses are among the most common health conditions in the United States. More than 1 in 5 U.S. adults live with a mental illness. There's more than 200 types of mental illnesses. Here are just a few of the common ones. You have schizophrenia, depression, bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, anxiety disorders, co-occurring substance use disorder and mental illness, post-traumatic stress disorder, and obsessive compulsive disorders, just to name a few. What causes mental illness? There is no single cause for mental illness. There are a number of factors that can contribute to risks for mental illness, such as adverse childhood experiences such as trauma or a history of abuse, economic hardship, grief, loss, experience related to other ongoing chronic medical conditions such as traumatic brain injury, cancer, or diabetes. Biological factors or chemical imbalances in the brain, use of alcohol or drugs, having feelings of loneliness or isolation, just to name a few. It's important to remember that a person's mental health can change over time depending on how many of these factors are impeding on their lives at the moment. When the demands placed on a person exceed their resources and coping abilities, their mental health could be impacted. For example, if someone is working long hours, caring for a relative, or experiencing economic hardship, they may experience poor mental health. Alrighty, how are you going to take care of your mental health? We all hear about self-care. So self-care means taking the time to do things that help you live well and improve your mental health. Even small acts of self-care in your daily life can have a big impact. So some self-care tips: get regular exercise. Just 30 minutes of walking every day can boost your mood and improve your health. Eat healthy, regular meals and stay hydrated. Make sleep a priority. Stick to a schedule and make sure you're getting enough sleep. Try a relaxing activity. Explore relaxation or wellness programs or apps which may incorporate meditation, muscle relaxation, or breathing exercises. Schedule regular times for these and other healthy activities you enjoy. Set goals and priorities. Decide what must get done now and what can wait. Learn to say no to new tasks if you start to feel like you're taking on too much. Practice gratitude. Remind yourself daily of things you are grateful for. Focus on positivity. Identify and challenge your negative and unhelpful thoughts. Stay connected. Reach out to friends or family members who can provide emotional support and practical help. Alrighty, so where to find help? If you're concerned that you or someone in your household may harm themselves or someone else, there is the 988, which is a suicide crisis lifeline. It was formerly the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which was created in 2005, I believe. They just recently switched over to 988. I have some stickers with that on it, which I will hand out. You can call them. They'll, if it's for you or if it's for someone else, they'll connect you with resources. They can try and de-escalate the situation. And if you have an immediate need, they can connect you to emergency services. Sorry, my mouse is in there. Oh, no. So community behavioral health centers, these can provide routine, urgent, and crisis care for mental health and substance use challenges. We have VinFin, they're in Lowell, they're a big one, and then Advocates has a site in Waltham. These are not 24-hour sites though, so if you have a need when one of these is not open, I would just go to the emergency room or call 988, obviously. Tewksbury Behavioral Health Unit, this is part of the police department. I believe they have a clinician who serves 4 other towns, so it's a co-response clinician that we have here in Tewksbury. She can respond to active calls for service, follow up with individuals post-crisis, and make referrals to community-based services. She's available to the police 24/7 for consultation. She's available to community members for follow-up after interactions with the police, and just for individual post-crisis or to make referrals for community-based services, such as non-acute levels of care and case management. So youth mental health first aid training. This is a training that Ashley, the town nurse, and Maria Ruggiero, the prevention coordinator, do, which I will soon be getting certified in. It teaches adults how to identify, understand, and respond to signs of mental health and substance use challenges among children and adolescents, ages 12 to 18. We just did one yesterday. We have one upcoming in Acton is the next closest one, and hopefully soon we will have a date here in Tewksbury, so that's something, I have flyers for that too. It's free. If you're on the Facebook page, I posted it on the Facebook page. The link is on there, and that is it. Any questions?
Thank you. Where can people easily find the information? And will this also be posted, this slideshow, will this be posted anywhere for people to have?
I can post it on Facebook if people would like it, or I can condense it and make an infographic, whatever you guys think is best, yeah.
Yeah, infographic would be great.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll put something on Facebook.
Siobhan did also make like a trifold downstairs for mental health awareness month.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. I also have these. When I was interning in Westford, I made this. It's mental health support for the youth. They are downstairs at the health department too. And they're just tips and tricks. They can be really used for anyone. It's just your choice. Thank you. And if you want, I have the Mass Behavioral Helpline card and then a 90-day card. If you would like. Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
I have a question. Are these in the schools?
I'm not sure if they're in the schools, so this was made the Northwest Public Health Alliance, which shows Westford when I was in the West Health Department. Yeah. I'm not sure I can check on that one, but I can definitely send it out to the schools. If
Yes,
anyone has it.
that would be great. I would probably check with Maria Ruggiero, see if she already put them in the schools, but if
She might have.
she may have, and if not, definitely. That's a great idea.
That's
Does the board have any other questions?
Madam Chair, is there room for citizen comment?
Absolutely.
Should I approach this with that?
You can approach right there, yeah. And I'll just have you state your name and address.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is David Chu. I live at 338 North Billerica Road. Siobhan, thanks for the presentation. I have a question. Do we have longitudinal data, like over time, the rate of mental illness across demographics over time?
I I'm sure, so that data on there was from the SAMHSA yearly, they do a yearly one, I would have to look at it, but they definitely have data back from, like, right off the top of my head, back from 2010 for mental
Okay.
illnesses, so I know it goes as far back to that, yeah.
Okay. The one thing I noticed was that there's, appears to be some association between mental illness and other non-communicable diseases. So I think in the US, we've pretty much conquered the communicable diseases, infections, things like that. But the non-communicable chronic diseases based on, in my opinion, metabolic illness, diabetes, obesity, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, and mental health, Alzheimer's, diseases like that that affect the brain. In my opinion, there's a root cause.
Yes.
In your research, has there been any discussion about a potential root cause? What I see in the presentation is if we've discovered a condition, of a mental health condition, then we can attempt to address the symptoms. What do we have in place, or what's the thinking in the academic or other professional areas about understanding the root cause of these conditions? Do you have any input?
I haven't come across anything of that in my research, definitely something to look into, and a very valid point, yeah. I haven't come across that.
Okay. I'd recommend, if you can possibly manage the time, is find the book by Dr. Georgia Ede called Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind.
I haven't.
She's a psychologist
Yes.
and has experience in various college environments, university environments, and I think that's a compelling read.
Yeah.
You may like my next presentation then.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. So I was asked to do a presentation in regards to gut-brain connection. So let's see if this will work. Maybe, maybe not. It takes a while, sometimes there we go. All right. Ooh. Let's try it again. It's doing so well. Please hold. Seriously.
We have to.
They might just be my computer. I'm gonna try to do this first. Now, I think it was just getting. There we go. Okay. So nutrition and mental health. So disclaimer, information presented is for educational purposes only, not intended to be medical advice or substitute for professional medical diagnosis, treatment, or guidance. And always consult with your healthcare practitioner or mental health professional for any personalized advice and treatment recommendations. Always have to put that up there. So the wizard behind the curtain, your gut-brain axis serves as a two-way communication system between the gut and the brain, influencing mental well-being. The connection actually allows for constant communication via neural, hormonal, and immune pathways. So changes in the gut health can actually influence the brain function and vice versa, highlighting the significance of maintaining a healthy gut for optimal mental well-being. The brain directs our thoughts, actions, emotions, and basic desires, and it actually utilizes 20% of the entire energy supply from the body. So with the gut-brain connection, they're in constant communication, and research does suggest that disruptions in the axis can contribute to mental health disorders like anxiety, depression, and even cognitive decline. By understanding and nurturing the connection through nutrition, we can actually support both gut and mental health. So our gut is the home of trillions of microorganisms forming what is known as the gut microbiome. It plays a pivotal role in digestion, nutrient absorption, immune function, and even mood regulation. It's said that about 85, there's some studies that say 80, some say 90, so I'll go in the middle. 85% of our hormones are actually created in our gut. So this plays a pivotal role in mood regulation, and it's a balanced and diverse microbiome is essential for overall health, including mental wellness. So dysbiosis, which is an imbalance of the gut bacteria, it can actually lead to inflammation and contribute to the mental health issues. Chronic stress, which was also mentioned, it can actually disrupt your gut microbiome and composition and increase your intestinal permeability. Basically, a lot of people will call it leaky gut syndrome, exaggerating inflammation. So basically what happens is all the nutrients kind of get out into your system versus going through the actual pathways. And then poor dietary choices, high processed foods, sugars, those also negatively impact the gut health and worsen mental health outcomes. So the standard American diet, our diet shapes the composition and function of the gut microbiome. So the standard American diet is very high consumption of processed foods, refined sugars, and unhealthy fats. It's something that everyone has been exposed to. And so it's actually very low in fiber, essential nutrients, and beneficial phytochemicals, which also contributes to your poor gut health and mental wellness. It's actually been linked to dysbiosis, inflammation, and increased risk of mental health disorders like depression and anxiety. So contributions of the SAD to gut mental health issues, so poor nutrient profile, high sugar intake, so the excess sugar consumption promotes all of that, the low fiber content, and then the processed foods. The SAD diet is very abundant in the processed foods, artificial ingredients, and all artificial colors as well. So blood sugar levels also influence the mood stability, with fluctuations contributing to energy crashes and mood swings. So maintaining a balanced blood sugar through meals, complex carbohydrates, protein, healthy fats, they can actually help stabilize your mood and energy throughout the day. So sugar, if you look at, these are some facts, American adults exceed the recommended intake of added sugars on an average of 17 teaspoons a day, which is more than 2 to 3 times the recommended amount. And most of it comes from soft drinks, fruit drinks, sport energy drinks, so your Gatorades, all of those are full of sugar, and your coffee, tea contribute to 7%. So also snacks and sweets are significant contributors to the added sugars. So foods to avoid and why. So definitely the processed foods, they contain additives, preservatives, and they actually can disrupt the gut microbiota and promote inflammation. Sugary foods, so the excessive sugar consumption can feed harmful bacteria in the gut, leading to dysbiosis and inflammation. And then artificial sweeteners. So these can actually alter your gut microbiome and can contribute to metabolic dysfunction and mental health issues. So you really want to go for the whole foods. So transitioning to healthy eating, recognizing the effects on the gut from the SAD diet and the mental health is really important to transition to a more balanced whole food-based diet, and then reducing the reliance on the processed foods. You can actually support your microbiome and balance it out with a well mental being. So some of the beneficial foods and nutrients are fiber-rich foods, so your fruits, your vegetables, your legumes, whole grains, those all provide prebiotic fiber, and they nourish your beneficial gut bacteria. And then fermented foods, yogurt, depending if it's, you want to always look at the labels, high sugars in yogurt sometimes, so kefir, sauerkraut, and those contain probiotics that support the gut as well. And then omega-3 fatty acids, so that's usually found in fatty fish like salmon, flax seeds, walnuts, and they have anti-inflammatory processes that support your brain health. So nutrition really plays a crucial role in shaping the composition and taking away those processed foods and artificial additives can disrupt it. So omega-3 fats are really important. They're essential for building all cell membranes in collaboration with phospholipids. So they're found in the fatty fish, like I said, like salmon. Chronic inflammation has been linked to the development and exacerbation of mental health disorders such as depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. So by adopting an anti-inflammatory diet rich in the whole foods and including plenty of omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants, you can actually support and mitigate the inflammation with that. So omega-3 fats exist in two forms. They're the EPA and DHA, and they're very used by the brain, so found primarily in the wild fish and game. So your brain actually needs the omega-3s. And so mental and emotional conditions associated with low tissue levels of omega-3 actually have shown to include depression, anxiety, ADHD, autism, bipolar disorder, learning disabilities, postpartum depression, schizophrenia, multiple sclerosis, and seasonal affective disorder. And I have the, right there, it's from NIH. So role of micronutrients, so B vitamins abundant in leafy greens and whole grains, and antioxidants from colorful fruits and vegetables, and amino acids from protein-rich foods all play essential roles in supporting cognitive function and emotional well-being. So here it kind of just goes over what vitamin D deficiency is linked to depression. So you can always take a supplementation, but there's nothing better than just going out and getting sunlight. That's your main source of vitamin D. I recommend that for as many people as possible, grounding. And then B vitamins, they're important for your mood regulation and energy production. Hydration, so staying hydrated, it was also mentioned by Siobhan. Staying hydrated is crucial. So dehydration can impair your cognitive function and actually increase your mood disturbances. So you want to get at least 8 cups of pure clean water. I say half your body weight in ounces. And consider herbal teas. So some people don't like the water. So herbal teas, or you can infuse it with fruits or anything like that to kind of get the benefits of the hydration. And then mindful practices, Siobhan also mentioned, which was great. This mostly about eating, so mental, like the stress management techniques, so prioritizing quality sleep, engaging regular physical activity, fostering social connections, they all contribute to a balanced mind-body equilibrium, complementing the effects of a nutritious diet. So you want to do the stress management techniques, she had mentioned some, and then regular physical activity as well. And then, when you're eating, we live in a society that I believe is very fast-paced. So mindful eating, paying attention to the experience of eating, practicing mindful eating, really savoring each bite, chewing slowly. We are meant to chew our food, and listen to your body's hunger and fullness. And then this is basically, there's a lot of emerging research that continues to highlight the profound impact of gut health on mental health disorders. There are studies that are demonstrating associations between the gut dysbiosis and conditions such as depression, anxiety, and even schizophrenia. Interventions targeting gut health, including probiotic supplementation and gut healing protocols, they show a promise as an adjunctive therapy for mental health treatment. So dietary choices definitely influence mental health and well-being, in my opinion, and through research. And by embracing a nutrient-dense diet, supporting gut health, and incorporating lifestyle practices, you can empower yourself to cultivate resilience and vitality from within. These are some of the references. And just wanted to thank you all. Research continues to unravel between nutrition and mental health. It's evident that diet plays a significant role. And that is it.
That's great, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Shannon has a copy, so if you want to send it out, and then I can probably do kind of like something or other of that sorts too, and put that out there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so next on the list is the appointment of Tewksbury Cares member. So I had a little thingy here. So Tewksbury Cares, basically, it's a community-based coalition that was founded in June 2005 by the members of the Board of Health. The mission was to increase awareness, promoting education, providing resources, and reducing substance misuse in the Tewksbury community. It included youth, parents, school personnel, police, public health, families, and recovery and treatment providers. So due to COVID, the group stopped meeting, and many have left since. So we're getting to work on, starting it back up. It has been tried to be revived in the last year and a half, 2 years, without ado. So I was wondering if any of the board members are interested in taking this on.
We can, I know they need a reorganization, but am I correct that there has to be a member of the Board of Health on the executive board of the Tewksbury Cares?
Yes, so one of the members would need to be on the board, from my understanding, yes. And then currently there is a treasurer that's still on there. And then it would be really gathering people and volunteers to then create the board.
Right.
So currently, there is no board other than a treasurer, and then it would be a representative right now, and then moving forward, once the board is up, then it would be created, yes. And the idea would be to revamp it in a way of extending it to all-encompassing health, and really being that, I believe, like that center spot of utilizing where you can help in all the different areas and different communities and clubs or committees that are out there already, and kind of incorporating it as that. So, and if you'd, go ahead.
I can give it a shot.
Okay. Is anyone opposed? We'll just go by we'll do the opposite. So is anybody opposed to that? Chris? Okay. I don't believe we need to vote, but I would like to get your input on it as members of the board. So if all are okay and in favor, Chris, I'd love for you to get on board, and I can help you as far as like what I have done in the past, and then kind of just revamping, and you can kind of go with it.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Awesome. So welcome. Yay. Okay. And then the next thing is the Board of Health goals. So in your packet, And I do know that it was received recently. So in your packet, there are some goals that were created as far as things that we meaning me and Susan, had discussed and thought of implementing. I don't know if everyone had time to go through it, and if not, that's totally okay. The point would be to really get into that, have a discussion, if there was anything that anybody wanted to add, retract, and then appoint, no, not appoint, that's not the word. Move forward.
Adopt.
Yes, adopt, thank you. Adopt those, the goals. So does any board member have anything that they'd like to say, or is there any motions, anything of the sorts?
This is the same copy we got in an email, right?
Yes, so in the email, the only additional one was the, I don't think it's in that, the one in the email. The additional one is Goal 5, which has to do with the microblading.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the regulate and ensure safety in personnel care services, which most of the things we've already done, but it just says personal care services, including microblading, because that is an important one that we would want to do.
So,
I'm missing that.
yeah, I have-
It's on the bottom one, I think, so
so which copy of this are we adopting?
this
The
one.
one with goal 5?
Yes,
Or it's up for,
yes, up for
Discussion.
discussion,
Yes.
yes.
Gotcha.
Because I had added that with the email too. It's the one pager
Yeah.
in smaller print. There you go. It should be probably at the very end. Do you see it? Here, do you want this one? So it's the same exact thing. The only addition is that goal 5 at the very end.
Right.
So I did put them in front of the town manager as well to ensure that there was no issues, anything of the sorts. What he did mention is that, you know, it is a lot. There's a lot in here, and so it would be the start of. A lot of this is, you know, starting, it's not, we're going to
this
automatically.
isn't policy, it's
Yes.
ambition.
Correct. Goal would be to really start getting these things moving forward. And this is going to be added to the minutes. Should I go over them? Or no? Okay.
Because if I may.
Yes.
Even if you look at goal 1, any of these goals could multiply. As you're working on them, they can become more than what it looks like right here. So it's not just black and white.
Right. And for the public and I'll just say, you know, and I won't go through the details, but the first goal is to promote public health education and awareness. And then create a questionnaire for the businesses and residents. So that's basically to get feedback. And then goal 3 would promote environmental health and safety. Goal 4 is foster collaborative partnerships. And then goal 5 would be the regulate and ensure safety in personal care services. So that's mainly the microblading, which is definitely business to be adopted, I believe.
I don't know, I just think the first meeting and this one already, we've already started hitting goals. I mean, I'm just so geeked. I'm just so happy, really. Seriously. But I would like to mention one thing, if I may, Madam
Yes.
Chair. I really am excited about goal number 3, because so many environmental things affect us. And also, I'd just like to mention with our first, the first thing that we had today, overhead. Westford, because she mentioned that she had worked in Westford. Westford, I went to the training program in a couple towns there. I asked the folks about their microblading, and they said it was incorporated with their tattooing. So do you want to look into that or have somebody look into the surrounding towns or something, or a couple towns that already have it? Where we
Yeah.
don't have to have a work group and meet together. I'm just saying the will of the board is up to that, the board, but
I'm open to that, and that was something that I was looking at as far as who had it and if they actually had it as far as microblading. I believe you mentioned
Or has
Andover.
microblading.
Okay. Yeah, and so that would be something that we could get together. It would need to, from my understanding, it would be a small group to get that going and moving forward, to put those regulations in play. And we can always utilize something that's already been done for sure.
thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, questions? Are there any? Go ahead.
I have a question, sort of on procedure. If we want to change, get rid of, or adopt new goals in the future, are we going to be able to do that?
I believe so,
Or
yes.
are we planning like, you know?
No,
right.
so, and this is, so again, this is new for me as well. I believe we can with there's a process, obviously. It would have to so it would be presented, and then as long as there is nothing that seems to be like an issue, we can totally put it in front of the members and vote and adopt. That would be the goal, and then change anything, yes.
My only concern is residents see this and they're like, what about this thing that's really important? I just want people to know that.
Yeah.
This isn't an only these things.
No. This wouldn't be like this is just a couple of things that we feel that
Are important, right.
would be nice, and a lot of things could be incorporated in, just even the,
Yeah, we have some pretty general
the
things in here.
questionnaire of the business.
I know.
Questionnaire of the businesses and residents, that gives a lot of input on
Right.
what we can even present in front of educational stuff. So they kind of encompass a lot of, on one,
that's what I
on the
thought.
other, as far as education and informational. And then there's always things that may present in front of the health department as well that we then have to go. So
Exactly.
the whole point would be, we'd have kind of, even on our agenda, we'd have business where we'd want to discuss to then be on the agenda in the future. It
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean it would be like on the next month's agenda,
Right.
but it could be in a future agenda.
All right, thank you for,
Thank you. And
Yeah.
if I may add.
Yes.
I think when you dive into some of these goals, you're going to see that if we got through these goals, that would be an amazing
know.
accomplishment. And to do that, which I think we could, I really do, and then there's always room for more goals. I just feel that I myself, I have to stay focused on one thing at a time and finish it and then move on, and that's the only way I can work. So I'm excited about having goals, and I'm excited about people bringing us more goals.
Yeah.
that was my only thing, is just making sure people feel comfortable to come
Absolutely.
to us on stuff.
Yeah. Any other, so is there anyone would like to make a motion to,
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the goals as written here.
Thank you, and I'd like to second that motion.
okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? I hear none. Chair also votes aye. All goals have been adopted as written unanimously. Okay. So director reports.
All right, so all I have is the health fair coming up on Friday, June 7th at the senior center from 1 to 5 p.m.
Okay. Awesome. And as everyone is welcome to join, correct? Anyone can come by.
Open
Awesome.
to everybody.
Yay. And so The next part is just reports, so recent food recalls. Palmer Candy, which is white coated confections, which is sold at Walmart, Target, and Dollar General, that was on a recall list. And then ground beef that was sold at Walmart was also recalled due to E. coli. It's from Cargill Meat Solutions. Those you can, I usually find those a lot on the Patch, Massachusetts, and you can just easily, for those who do have access to internet, you can easily Google like food recalls in Massachusetts, and you can get a whole list of things so that you are made aware of, and you can actually get notifications of such so that you are aware of those things, so that you're not eating it. So obviously, if you have purchased any of those, please check and don't consume it. It is not recommended to be consumed. And then the next one was the working group discussion, which was basically, we kind of mentioned that it would be as far as starting those that regulation for the microblading. And again, I am new to this, so I am learning all the processes of how to get that done, reading Robert's rules. And so what I would ask is, with the open meeting law, obviously, there can only, we would, if there's 3 or more, we're in violation. However, we can still have a working group. The only thing would be if there's more than 3, if there's more than 2, it would just have to be posted that you are meeting. And then minutes are put down. And we can do it as a board as well. I was looking up at other Board of Health locations, and what they do is they have like it's like an additional meeting that they add where they just discuss that and go over that. So it's already minutes being put in play. So it's really kind of that. And I would like to start this sooner rather than later, as it's been discussed since last year. And I'd really like to get this done. So I'm open to feedback from the board.
Yeah, I agree, because it has been, we talk about it a lot, and I personally feel that it's something that we just need to get a hold of, a better understanding to make sure that
Yep,
things aren't being done unsanitary.
correct.
So if there's a way that we can begin it today, whether it's by, getting a few people to say, okay, I want to be a part of that, and just get it started.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, and I'm not quite sure what you need to do today to do that, except maybe to ask.
Yes.
I'm totally in favor of getting it started as quick as we could, because, one of the things I was running on to be on the board is obviously the health concern is the most we should have, but I was looking at also a liability from the town standpoint.
Oh, your mic's off, George.
I'm sorry. The health part obviously is one of the main things that we are looking at in our board and regulations, but I was really concerned about the legality, the legal question in our town of having it without me not being a lawyer. It's just that folks can open up, and if we don't have any regulation, that we're kind of putting ourselves in behind the 8 ball. So thank you.
Okay. And just to put it out there, I would very much like to be a part of that.
Okay. Are there any other members of the board that are interested as well?
I'd be interested in sitting down, workshopping this with you guys.
Okay. So I have 2. Great. So I'll have.
We can,
Yeah, I'd have you guys start
And-
discussing times.
And take it
And then
back.
and take it back, and then so the next meeting, we can we'll put it in the agenda as far as what you guys have discussed and gone through. And then just note that Andover does have the microblading one, and those should be easily to look up as well. And then I'll know more about the whole system and how to put it in play by our next meeting as well. So,
throw it out there, I've had it done.
perfect. All right. So I believe,
But not in Massachusetts.
Hopefully not in Tewksbury.
Not
yes,
in Tewksbury.
yes.
Outside.
All right, so that is, so we'll move to adjourn,
Oh, wow.
I believe, unless anyone has anything else to add, mention.
Yeah.
Okay,
Still excited about our team, that's
Oh,
all.
my goodness.
well, thank you, I appreciate you all, for sure, and again, like I mentioned, work in progress. Looking forward to working with you guys throughout this year, so.
Motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn, sure. Did last time.
Seconded, all in favor, say aye.
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 Chairs votes aye as well. Thank you, Tewksbury. It is 6:50, and I appreciate you all. Have a great night.